Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Dream Team Tonic podcast, episode 131. I'm Tony. You might have forgot me. Hopefully not, but I'm back. With me this evening is Ben. Are you there, mate? All good?
Hi, mate. You all right? You have a good Christmas?
All good, mate. All good. And James, are you there?
I'm here, mate. Whilst the power doesn't go out or the internet doesn't fail.
Yeah. First off, a big Merry Christmas to everybody. Hope you all had a cracking time. All your families had a cracking time as well. All safe and sound. Yeah, it's been a while. So I'm a little bit rusty, although I did get the loop right, and the intro music didn't loop. So I think we're on to a winner here. Nice to have a few beers with you over Christmas, lads, and let's jump into this. Jump into this last week of Dream Team action. Ben, your team is up there first on the server, so let's have a look at you, mate.
Yep, 95 points this week. You're pretty happy with that. I think I've got a couple of more points coming as well because I've got Bowen. He got an assist so far, and they've got Saka as well. So there's games on at the minute, but yeah. So I've got triple Newcastle at the back. I'm so glad I didn't park the bus. Yeah, in the end, I didn't park the bus. I couldn't get there because I had too many problems in my team. So I decided to save it for another day.
Might have been a blessing, that.
Yeah. Although Trippier did get 15 points somehow after losing 2 matches.
Yeah.
Yeah, smashing the bonus at the moment. So he's got 15 points. And I got Dubravka in goal. He got 5. He was my transfer in for Kelleher because Kelleher wasn't even playing. And I wanted Dubravka for this double game week after we had a really good game week the week before. Simicus, 2 points, got injured. Lascelles, 1 point, got injured. So they both got injured at the weekend, so they missed the second game. So I've already got 2 transfers penciled in there. Alexander Arnold, 15 points, just smashing it in. He's just on fire. Bowen, I've got down here 11 so far. That's after 1 game. Foden, come back from the Club World Cup with 12 points. Glad I kept him. Now the fixtures look good for City as well.
Yeah.
Saka, only 2 from the weekend, but still got a game. Went Captain Watkins. Absolute rubbish. He only got 5 points. He was the other transfer in.
Were you not tempted for your Max Captain? Or
I've used mine.
Yeah, sorry, you had.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I've only got part of the bus left now. So yeah. It was definitely a good week to use Max Captain. Lots of
with Haaland being out.
Mm.
It was just very, very good week because you just didn't know you were going to bang.
Yeah.
But some of the big hitters have. So a lot of people done all right anyway, even like if they have Captain Salah or Bowen or Trent.
Yeah.
They've done all right anyway.
Should have brought Chris Wood in, shouldn't I?
Oh, I know. Hindsight been beautiful, isn't it? Turned into like Benzema, didn't he? Going back to St James's Park. Jesus Christ.
He seemed so confident after he scored the first goal, didn't he? Just looked like he was on it.
Oh, the finishing was beautiful. Round the keeper, just so calm. Yeah, brilliant.
When he played for Leicester, he scored a hat-trick on his debut against Bristol City at Ashton Gate. Yeah.
I didn't know he played for Leicester.
Yeah.
He's been around the block as Chris Wood.
He's been played for a few teams now, hasn't he? So I decided to keep Darwin Núñez as well. Because I sold Saliba with the fixtures a bit tricky next few. So I thought, do I sell Núñez because he's got he's got the extra games coming up in the Carabao Cup, and with Salah going to AFCON, he should get more minutes.
Yeah.
So last minute decided to keep him, and he got me a goal finally. I've seen a lot of people have been yo-yoing with Watkins and Nunez and missing out on the goals.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I got a goal there.
Great finish as well.
Yeah, and Salah got 13 points. So yeah, not too bad. I missed out the captaincy, but normally I would have gone Salah, but just with the fixtures for Watkins, I just thought I got to go with it. But yeah, hindsight, like you say, hindsight, innit?
Yeah, it is. It is. Right, over to my side. 93 points, obviously, before tonight. I think it did have 5 playing tonight. Yeah, 5 players playing tonight. So it will be a little bit more. But Johnston, who's been stuck in my team injured, there was quite a few injuries and red cards and all these other bits been having to bugger around with for the last couple of weeks. So I've just always felt like it's been an unnecessary move to change my keeper. I've held my players quite high up, so I think I've been proved maybe a little bit right. The Gordon thing did me head in this week because when he went off injured, he looked ghost. Like he was struggling to sprint. He kept pulling up. I think about 2 or 3 sprints he tried, and eventually just went, I've had enough now. I thought he's done a bit of damage doing that. But so that was what I would tell you with do I take Gordon out, put Wilson in who's on penalties, and I put Kudos in. But Kudos obviously absolutely banged last week, and then this week.
You had him last week, didn't you?
Yeah, sorry, I had him last week with a 20.
Yeah.
Who did I put else? Oh, sorry, Watkins. I wanted Watkins for this week.
Yeah.
So we either change my keeper and keep Gordon, or go for Wilson. I went for Wilson. I don't think it cost me too many points. Dubravka didn't have a great week, and I don't think Gordon ripped up trees, did he either? Although he played 290 minutes, more or less. So got away with one a little bit there.
Yeah.
Previous week, I forget, obviously I've not been on for a while. So yeah, last week Kudos did me a right good go. I took a punt on him and Jimenez. Jimenez not quite the better punt. And I was out in Liverpool that day, so I didn't really see any of football. I couldn't see much. I couldn't even see in front of me by the end of the night. So when I woke up, I thought, I'll just check how Fulham got on with my Jimenez punt. Oh, red card and 3-0 defeat. Yeah, click on it. Jimenez, 22 minutes gone. Yeah. I've watched it back actually as well, and I think it's harsh, mate. I think a yellow was fair because he tried to pull himself out of it. But yeah.
It was a strange one, yeah.
It was a strange one. He just found himself out of control a little bit. He tried to stop himself, but a bit tough. But yeah, Kudos.
He tried to stop himself from doing like a karate kick. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, he tried to hold himself back, but yeah, took him out anyway. So yeah, through my team, Saliba 3, obviously playing tonight against West Ham. I played Max Captain this week with Haaland being out. Like I said, it was up to somebody to bang and take the points. He's currently on Alexander-Arnold, who got a 15. Van Dijk, nice 11 points. Bowen, currently 11. I think he's got an assist tonight as well, so he might be fighting for that captain spot. Saka 2, plays tonight. Martinelli 2, plays tonight. Kudos 12, plays tonight. Wilson 4, Watkins 5, and Salah a nice 13. 93 points so far, as I say before tonight's points. And I think I was 117th as the night kicked off. I think I was as high as like 52nd or something during weekend. But yeah, obviously it's up and down. It's quite close to points up at that point, but happy enough to be right up there where I can start looking to it. I have took a few chances. I probably will carry on doing it because of how many transfers we get. I think we're open to have a little like Kudos. He's a punt. He looks good. He loves a shot. He's been scoring for fun. Why not? He weren't playing in the best side like West Ham. They've struggled a little bit recently, but they're scoring goals. I mean, look at Trippier with his haul this weekend, and he's been beat twice. It's it just shows these bonus points and make a big difference, especially with players like that. So yeah, I'm going to concentrate on trying to pick a few of them out as well over the next few weeks. Try and go a little bit different to the guys at the top. Oh, sorry. So go on, Ben.
What are you thinking then with your African players in a few weeks? You're gonna.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see if Elliot takes Salah's place. I think we might touch on that a little bit later, but yeah, they've all got to go, haven't they? I might even end up with a keeper this weekend. I don't know. But yeah, I think when we go through questions, we'll probably touch on the planning a little bit more. And we don't know what's going to happen in the last 15 minutes of these games. Like these injuries have been mounting up, haven't they, for everybody? So
I see Nathan Wisby's join us in the chat. I think he's decided to stop watching Spurs. It's 4-0 now.
4-1.
4-1.
4-1. Don't know who scored the Spurs. Hopefully it's Porro. Come on, Porro.
It's Veles.
It's Veles, yeah.
A Son Heung-min assist.
Alejo Veles.
Yeah.
Argentinian striker.
Good evening, Nathan. Good to have you listening, mate. James, your team, pal.
146 points at the. I took the screenshot at the halfway stage of the Spurs game just to get a few extra points in there. 146. I played my part of the bus with mixed results, to be honest. So let's talk about that first. My defense, like I said at halftime and during the Spurs game, was on 86 points. So I gained 43 points so far. It could have been a lot more, really. I mean, annoyingly, Tsimikas got injured. He, even with a few extra appearance points, that makes a difference. But so he only got me 4 points, which is really frustrating. Trippier and Trent both got 15, so that's double. They got 30 each for me, so that's decent. I think if you're going to play part of the bus, you need to get those two. They're the two heavy hitters, aren't they?
Yes.
I almost didn't play it. It wasn't ideal, to be honest with you. But I just looked back at previous weeks where I'd started loading up on Arsenal players to do a part of the bus a few weeks ago. And I just thought, you're not far off here. Maybe just play it, get it out of the way, and then you can concentrate on getting in, sorting your side out for the remainder of the season. Because you do have to plan it for a couple of weeks prior to make sure you've got the right players in there with decent fixtures. So I just thought, no, I'm going to play it. I don't want to be in another situation where I was planning to go with like a week or two ago. It would have been a Newcastle block, but their form has gone through the floor. We could not predict what their lineup was going to be. I actually took Livramento out, which turned out to be I was congratulating myself for sticking with Tsimikas instead of Livramento, because it was one of those two that had to go, and then Livramento didn't play, so I was like, yes, come on, you made a good call there, and then Tsimikas gets injured, so that was super annoying.
I've seen him stick boots in on him.
Yeah. So as things stand now, I've made 43 points. I don't know. Would you? That's not bad, is it? But it's not brilliant, I would say. Would you be happy with that? 43 points extra from your bus?
No,
No.
because I think you've had the two main hitters do their bit, and then you've not had much elsewhere. But like you say, it got to a point where you had to play it because you set up that way. You've already gone at least 1 week before you've tweaked it to attack it this week, and it could have been so much better. You've just been a little bit unfortunate. Spurs taking a hammer in tonight wasn't probably on the cards. Brighton have been poor.
Yeah.
I don't know. You probably fancied Spurs this evening.
4-2 now.
Oh God, 4-2.
Is it?
Porro assist.
Is that Porro?
Porro assist.
Yes, come on, get in.
Apparently, Nathan says in the group chat.
Oh, nice one, Nathan. So maybe I'm pushing into respectability with the part of the bus if Porro is going to get
just Simicus letting you down there then.
Conser. I mean, you think Villa they lost to Luton, didn't they, in the first game?
Sheffield United.
And Sheffield United, that was it. And they've been so good at home all season. I mean, they haven't lost at home for forever.
It was a draw. It was a draw, wasn't it, in the end? But yeah.
Yeah.
Zaniolo equalised, didn't he?
That was it. So
it felt like a loss.
I nearly put Colwell in instead of Conser, so that wouldn't have turned out any better. So mixed results with the part of the bus. It's not a disaster by any stretch, but it could have been so much more with a bit more luck on my side. So 146 points plus whatever Porro is going to get for that assist that's just gone in. So that's Dubravka 5, Trippier 30, Trent 30, Simicas 4, Conser 12, Porro 10 plus an assist. Saka's still playing. He's on 4 at the moment, I think. Diaby 4. I don't know how I've still got Diaby in my side, by the way. He's been on the chopping block for weeks now. But that's the trouble with this part of the bus, you see.
Yeah.
You end up not taking out other players that you probably would normally have done. Saying that, I would have probably gone Watkins this week if I hadn't done part of the bus, and I would have captained him, and that wouldn't have. So as things go, I haven't taken out a load of attackers that have done well. So if you look at it that way, it's that's another positive. I kept Foden 12 points, happy with that. He's staying in my side for the rest of the season, I think. Nunes finally got his goal, 9 points. Captain Salah 26. So again, I would have captained Watkins if I hadn't parked the bus, but I stuck it on Salah. Even though he was playing Arsenal and he scored against Arsenal. He could have scored against bloody Burnley, but their keeper had an absolute blinder. How it ended with that scoreline, I have no idea. But we should have battered them, but their keeper was immense. And they were decent actually in spells. They kept the ball. Their final ball was not just a bit lacking, but I'm disappointed we didn't whoop them, to be honest. But
it could have been a cricket score.
Yeah, I don't think there's any whooping boys in the league right now. Even Sheffield United have tightened up after their Wilder's come back in. So Luton are decent at home. There's no pick a whoop. There isn't a whooping boy right now, is there? So even Burnley
United.
Right.
They've only lost one in about 10 games, though, really, haven't they?
Their comeback was pretty impressive against Villa. But then it just looked like Villa, I don't know, they took their foot off the gas, and United just started doing all the simple things right. Just started pressing the ball, pressing in numbers, putting the effort in, doing the simple stuff. And then as soon as the crowd got behind them, they got that first goal. They were only one winner in the end, and fair play to United. But where's that every week? Why aren't they doing that every week? They've obviously got got the players to do it, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see where that goes. Whether that's just a false dawn and Villa are having a bit of a hiccup. But they look comfortable at half-time, Villa, and they should have gone on to win that game. And then after that, obviously the scraping a draw home to Sheffield United. It's a couple of dodgy performances on the bounce now for them. So might make people change their mind. Diaby as well. Diaby's been finding himself on the bench, hasn't he?
Yeah.
But I can't imagine.
Yeah. So Diaby's probably one that's days are numbered in your team, I guess.
Well, Tsimikas has got to come out first, doesn't he? Because I'm hearing that he might make the end of the season now. Hopefully he will be there for the run-in, but he's going to be out for some time. So Tsimikas is the definite one to go. I'm toying with various options. I think I'll save what I'm going to do until we answer some of the questions, because otherwise I'll preempt that.
Yeah. Good stuff. Hopefully Porro grabs a goal before the end as well.
That would be
as
nice.
well with that assist. It might bump his bonus points up as well. You never know.
Yeah,
they always be nice. Right, over to the listener questions. First up, DT Patrick. Best players to target for the upcoming double game weeks. Get yourselves up to the planner. Ben, double game week players, mate.
Well, we do have a double game week next week, don't we? A little one.
Yeah, it's a strange one.
Yeah, Palace have a double game week and Everton have a double game week. So Palace have Brentford and Everton at home, and Everton have Wolves and Crystal Palace away, because that FA Cup game's been brought forward to the Thursday night, so it qualifies for game week 18.
It's a strange one, isn't it? Because it means that Everton blank and Crystal Palace blank in game week 19.
Yeah.
Which is a difficult one to... I mean, if you've got some subs backed up on and off that week, but what are you doing, Ben? Anybody that you fancy?
I am tempted to do one, but if I bring him in, I'd have to captain him to make it worthwhile.
Captain?
Yeah. So it'll be a double game week player, possibly an Elise or a Eze or something like that. Two home fixtures, and they're both like bonus points magnets, dribbles, tackles, shots on target, everything basically. They're brilliant players, and they smash the points at the moment. And then you got, I wouldn't do it, but maybe like a DCL from Everton. He got rested against Man City. He could be a good little double game week player, but that's very out there because he could get injured in the first match. And then like game week 19, you've got your Liverpool's got a double game week, Chelsea and Fulham. Fulham's a bit not really interested. They've got Rotherham at home, and then they got Liverpool away in the Carabao Cup first leg. So it's a bit. They'll probably rest a few in the FA Cup against Rotherham.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've got your Robinson, who's smashing the bonus points, good little enabler, or Palhinha, he's top of the tackles. He's got 91 tackles. He's 24 ahead of anybody else. He just ticks along. But if you're only bringing him in for a few weeks, I think you want someone, a high ceiling player. If you're going to just bring him in for a little while and move him on, you don't really want a player to just tick along from like Fulham, I suppose. And so you got obviously Liverpool have got Arsenal away and Fulham at home, and Chelsea's got Preston at home and Middlesbrough away. So there's loads of options there. Have you thought of anybody from Liverpool and Chelsea you like, James?
I think Jota might be an option by that stage. He's just come back from injury. He scored on his return. Prior to his injury, I think he got 7 goals. He's been out for quite a long time. If he'd have continued at that same rate as he did at the start of the season, then he'd be up there, with the likes of pushing Haaland and Solanke and etc. So, and he can find the back of the net, whereas Nunes is a little bit hit and miss.
Yeah.
So, but the only thing I would say about that is clearly you'd want to see a run of games, and he has got a habit of getting injured, so he gets a lot of thigh injuries, etc. So and there's so many choices in that Liverpool front line. The chances are that Klopp would rotate, particularly with Carabao Cup fixtures. So I would be wary of trying to target, unless there's other injuries just before that, I would be wary of trying to target Liverpool attackers. I mean, you probably wouldn't be. You want to be targeting attackers, don't you? So there will be rotation. So it's a tricky one. Chelsea, obviously, the obvious one call would be Palmer. I agree with the upcoming double. I agree with Ben that Elise or Eze would be the one to go for, but obviously have a plan to take them out the week after.
Yeah.
Because of the blank. I wouldn't personally touch any Everton players. Both of their games are away. The ceiling's quite low for all the players. So, yeah, I probably wouldn't go Everton. But with those two Palace starlets, I would be tempted. I might bring in Elise myself.
Would you captain him?
Probably, yes. Although City have got Sheffield United, haven't they?
Yeah.
So it's not cut and dry, but I think I probably would captain him. But I was looking at Foden as well, potentially as an option, or maybe an Alvarez, if you had an Alvarez, potentially.
Yeah, I was just looking at it like it's a bit of a, say, for example, you're getting 4 times the points, aren't you? Because it's 2 games captained. So you're getting Elise or Eze for 4 times the points. And then you could either get Foden or Alvarez for 2 times the points from the one game. I mean, he could easily outscore Elise, but it's just that. It's just there, dangling a little carrot in there. It's just thinking, possible extra games and 2 home fixtures.
They've looked all right at Palace as well.
Mm.
I think they're better than what the form or their league position suggests. Watched them against Chelsea overnight and they were decent.
Yeah, it looks like Haaland's out till January as well, doesn't it? So
I mean that makes it easier for us. I've still got the money in the bank for that, but I don't think, unless you are struggling for budget, I don't think there should be any issues getting back in. But then, yeah, it's whether with these injuries. Obviously, Paqueta going off tonight is another curveball for people to have to deal with, especially if you wanted to take a 1-week punt on the Palace or Everton lads for the double. Is that you've probably got other things to tidy up sometimes. My keeper, I've been playing with 10 men for 2 or 3 weeks. So would I leave my keeper in again and play for a double? I don't know. I don't know this week. I'm not too sure, but yeah, Eze, I'd probably pick Eze over Elise, but I mean, Jordan Ayew picks up the bonus points. He's doing all right for Palace. He's not the biggest of scorers. He's not a big goal scorer, but he does pick up the points. He does a lot of the hard miles for Palace. His work rate's immense. Everton, James Garner picks up quite a lot of bonus points. I think, and he's
like Palhinha, isn't he? It's a bit like that.
He is, yeah. And he does have an eye for goal. He's a talented lad. Whether he's going to grab you a goal or not, I won't say that. But in his last 16 games on Dream Team, he's only had less than 4 points in 2 of them. So he's good for probably 8 points over the 2.
Yeah,
that's enough.
he's averaging 5.4 points a game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a decent average what he's got. Again, he doesn't get your taste buds like flowing though, does he? It's not one that you go for. I'd rather have an Eze or an Elise because you know what they're capable of, and you know they could easily grab a goal in each game. But yeah, he's just one to note, James Garner, because he's a steady player. He's a little bit like I say, just ticking along, and ticking along nicely, very nicely. A nice average point. We
Come
Liverpool.
on, you irons. Sorry, I couldn't resist. 2-0 to West Ham, according to Paul in the chat.
Ex-Arsenal player scored as well.
Mavropanos.
Yeah, he was playing for Arsenal a few years ago.
What's he? That's a corner, that, isn't it?
Yeah, Ward-Prowse assist.
Yeah, a corner or a free kick. But just going to Liverpool, do you know obviously the game it's the FA Cup, isn't it? The FA Cup weekend for anybody, and they've got Arsenal. Do you think they'll go strong?
What do you think, James?
I would say that there will be a smattering of what you might call fringe players. I don't think he will play the strongest lineup that he has.
Do you think he'll go stronger in the semi-final?
Probably. I would like the likes of Van Dijk might get a rest, for instance. Klopp, the early rounds of the FA Cup, he normally rotates. Even against bigger sides, that there will be the odd player that you wouldn't expect to be in there if you were picking your strongest side. I would say. So, but who knows?
Do you think they're expecting Arsenal to do the same as well? He's trying to give like Saka a rest. I don't know, Saliba.
I wouldn't be surprised if Arteta did that. A lot of the top managers do, don't they? They don't seem to. The Premier League is the one you want to win, or the Champions League. They don't prioritize the cups of rightly or wrongly lower priority, aren't they? Yeah.
Until you get to this late stage, there's no doubt that Liverpool want to get past them 2 games against Fulham. Probably want to blitz them away at first game and do the damage in the first game, and then, like you say, you could probably drop a couple out and give them a nice rest before the Chelsea game.
Yeah, they don't play. They don't play again after Fulham until the 20th, the weekend of the 20th, because of the winter break. So they get the first week off of the winter break, and then they come back in the second week. So, like, there's 10. I think there's half the games are played in the first week, and half the games are played in the second week. So they could go a bit stronger, I suppose. And with Salah might be going after the Arsenal game, isn't he? On the 7th, I read he should be going on the 7th.
He's going after the Newcastle game.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Were you there for the cup game?
No.
Well,
I just read on the Liverpool Echo. I thought he was going after the Newcastle game. Maybe that was a Premier League article I read or something. Perhaps he is there for the cup game.
Well, if you're going after Newcastle, then that'll make it a lot more easy to navigate, because if he's still going to get Arsenal, that's a bit of a headache.
It does make it a little bit tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. We digress. Nathan Wisby, who's in the chat as well. Best captain picks for game week 18, James. Who are you going with, mate?
Best captain. I'm tempted to go with Foden. But if I bring in Elise, like I said earlier, I think probably would captain him. Salah would be the safe choice. Obviously, the trouble with Foden is you never know when he's going to get a rest. But Man City don't have a huge amount of games in and around that period, so there's plenty of rest. So I don't see why he wouldn't start. He does seem to be integral to that side. Pep has been praising him recently as well. So I'd be surprised if he didn't start against Sheffield United. You would, because they're at home, you would think they would they would end up battering them, but they haven't. They're no pushovers, are they, Sheffield United? But if they get an early goal, it's one of those things. It could be a 4-5-0, couldn't it?
Definitely. Ben?
Yeah, pretty much agree. Salah, the obvious one, with Newcastle playing so badly at the back with loads of injuries and being at Anfield. His record at Anfield is incredible. Obviously, Foden looks like one of the main men now in the team while Haaland's out. I think I wouldn't drop him for that game, especially with Haaland being injured. So, yeah, he's been on fire the last few games as well. You got Watkins, who's got Burnley at home. A lot of people will be scared off of captaining him in now after last weekend's performance. He didn't even have a shot on target, I don't think, in the 2 games. Jared Bowen as well has got Brighton at home. Brighton conceded again tonight. That's all. Every game in the Premier League they've conceded in.
Yeah.
West Ham are quite good at home, aren't they? And Bowen's on fire. And obviously Son at home to Bournemouth. And then obviously the wildcard pick we said earlier, Elise, Eze. They've got double game week, but then you'd have to sell them the week after. Well, you don't have to sell him the week after, because you've already got the 4 times points out of him. If you average it over the 2 games, you're getting the 4 times points out of him. Obviously, he blanks next week, but you've still got that 4 points. You know what I mean? 4 times out of him, while the other players play twice or 3 times. But obviously, you want to maximise it by maybe going Elise, then to Palmer or something like that.
Yeah.
And you've got a double game week player for the week after as well.
Yeah, definitely. If you can do a move like that from a Palace across to a Chelsea or across to a Liverpool player, you might play the both. It's a no-brainer. Try and get the double and then get the double again. But with all the injuries and stuff that's going on, it is getting more difficult for people to be able to decide it like that. A lot of short-term planning involved. Touching on Palmer, would you touch Chelsea against Luton as a captain? Would you touch him, Ben?
I'm not too sure now. Luton at home, and they look quite good, don't they? And they've just won 2 in a row. I mean, it's not a bad choice, but there's loads of good choices this week, so he'd probably be a bit further down pecking order for me.
Yeah.
He does have penalties, though, when he's on the pitch, unless Nkuku's going to start taking them.
Yeah, he's a good player.
That's another option for Game Week 19, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got it wrote down here as well.
We didn't talk about Chelsea options, did we?
For Game Week 19?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's loads.
There's only one.
Yeah, there is.
As far as I'm concerned, there's only one.
There's only one. I think there's quite a lot.
I wouldn't touch Sterling with your barge pole, let alone mine.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably say Palmer, Nkunku, possibly Gusto. Was it the first Chelsea game, first Chelsea goal the other night? He were unbelievable. He took the ball. He did like this lovely turn. Took 2 players out of the game. He passed the ball into the centre, and then he didn't just sit and watch the game. He then sprinted from the right hand side of the pitch over to the left to give a covering run, and ended up assisting the goal. He were unbelievable from Gusto. Such a great passage of play, absolute top drawer. So yeah, Gusto's back in my thinking with play like that.
What about Petrovic for your goalkeeper transfer?
Yeah, I need to delve deeper into the Sanchez one. Is he long term? Because I don't want to pencil in another. I don't want to put Petrovic in and then in 2 weeks' time I want to take Petrovic out because he's another non-starter.
On
Well,
Premier injuries, it says end of January 31st. But that it could be before or after he comes back.
Oh, I might have a dabble on Petrovic then. Will that affect my? No, I could do Petrovic and Eze this week. I'd be happy enough with that as long as there's no injuries beforehand, and then go Eze possibly across to Palmer. I think for the week after.
It's a shame that Sam Johnson ain't back this week because it's a double game week as well, isn't it?
I know. I think it's same, but then Henderson's such a good keeper. They're going to struggle there, aren't they? They've got 2 top drawer keepers there, and Arsenal are finding out you can't keep them for too long, can you? Ramsdale surely is going to be off in January with the Euros around the corner.
Yeah.
So they brought in a keeper to have 2 top keepers, but then they're going to lose one of the top keepers. And they're going to have to bring back a Matt Turner from Forest to sit on bench for him. We need to get another Scott Carson, don't they?
Did he not sign him permanently?
He's what? Sorry,
Hugo Lloris.
Yeah.
Where's he gone?
Apparently, he's going off to. He's still at Spurs. Can you believe it? I totally forgotten about him. But apparently, he's off to MLS. So I was just joking. He could be Spurs, Arsenal backup. That'll never happen.
That'd have been funny. Right. Sorry. Question 2 a day from Wisby. When is Salah leaving for the AFCON? I think we just touched on that.
Right. I can give you a definitive answer now. He's definitely not going to play in that Arsenal Cup game, according to TalkSport and according to Matt Woolley, who says that Egypt's warm-up friendly versus Tanzania is on the same day. So there you go. He won't be available.
Well, there's your Haaland money if he's back.
That's it. Yeah. Well, yeah, makes it easier for everyone if he's fighting fit. So that's that one answered. Players you're thinking of bringing in, I think we really have gone through the Chelsea, Liverpool, Everton, and Palace players. Top priority. So we'll skip on that one, Nathan. Best enablers to get Haaland back in. I mean, you've just touched on that, Ben, is Salah, because it's going to probably be timed around about the same place. You're going to have to just switch Salah to Haaland by the looks of it. You won't need the enablers.
Yeah.
Which makes it easier for everybody. It'd have been nice if everyone was having to throw in a Fulham defender to try and get back Haaland, but...
Well, you said it, Gusto, 2 million.
Yeah, I mean, Gusto's a good shout. Definitely.
Yeah. The only thing that worries me about Chelsea is that they seem to be rotating the defence at the minute because Cole will miss the game. Then Badiashile missed the game. And then Thiago Silva missed the game. Now it might be Disasi's turn to miss a game because there's 5 of them that are playing at the minute and they're not like rotating. Disasi can play right back. And when Gusto was injured, Disasi was playing right back. Maybe Disasi misses out and Thiago comes in at the next match.
Possibly, mate. But I think for their outlet, though, I think they need Gusto. He's such a dynamic player that he gives not just about defensively, but just going forward, he gives them something extra. I think they lose that if they don't have him. So maybe he might survive that call. But there have been a lot of chop and changing going on. It's always one to keep an eye on. Charlie Choyne, will Trippier price rise next week?
Surely 1.1. Do you reckon 0.1? 15 points at a 4.9 million defender?
Yeah, I think he might sneak a 0.2.
Yeah.
Might sneak one. Patrick, do you all feel teams will become more and more template, or is there still room for thinking outside of the usual suspects? What do you reckon, Ben?
Well, like you say, we've just threw a couple of wild cards in with the Crystal Palace players. Obviously, you don't want to keep them longer than one game, but and then you got the Chelsea, Liverpool, Fulham. I don't think it'll be template. I think there's going to be quite a few options. There's players scoring points from all different angles.
Yeah,
you don't just need to be goal scorer or assists. It's bonus points, shots and target, tackles.
yeah, they're
getting
coming
all
from everywhere,
sorts.
aren't they? Yeah, I was just when I read this question, I thought there's been a talk of it like, oh, it's going to be template or it's more template than I think, and I was thinking this game is not template. If it's anything, it's not template. And I think if you look at our three teams tonight, sorry, James, I think I've got seven players.
I got a slightly different take on it because, at the moment, you're right. It's not template at all because we've got a massive player pool to start to pick from. When Europe kicks in, it will probably be a little more template because we don't have Manchester United, we don't have Newcastle in Europe, so there'll be less European players to pick from. Therefore, it's inevitable that people will be trying to target teams that are still in Europe because of the extra fixtures. So it will become a bit more template, and I think that's probably what he was getting at, because that's the only logical thing to think. That's the only way I could answer that question, really. So it will become more template.
Luckily,
because at the minute it's not. Because I think I've got 7 players different to James. I think I've got 5 or 6 players different to you, Ben. So it's definitely not template at the minute. It'd be interesting to see how many of them players are European playing players.
We've still got 6 weeks till the European games start again, so I could imagine a lot of people will still be going for the non-European players. We've also got the FA Cup replay in Game Week 20. So there could be a third round replay if someone draws.
Yeah.
And then we got the 4th round, FA Cup 4th round is 21. And then there's a replay in 22 as well. So there could be some extra games in there for certain teams if they get through. Then after that, there's no replays after round 5. After round 4. Round 5, there's no replays. And that's a midweek round of fixtures as well, the FA Cup 5th round. That's the weekend after, the midweek after the Carabao Cup final.
Yeah, still plenty of opportunity, isn't there? Right, Conk. Just to my own breath, don't you? Get a bit cold in here. What's your favourite gift you all received on Christmas Day? We'll kick off with you, Ben.
Well, I only received one gift. And that was a bottle of aftershave. But secretly, I bought my son a PS5.
How can you keep that secret, Ben? That's a lot of money.
So it's in the living room. I'm playing it when he's in bed.
You bought yourself a PS5. Brilliant. James.
Well, I didn't receive a single gift. Things work differently here in Venezuela. So I can't really answer that. But I would like to pick out a comment from our Discord that's from Marcos, who said his favourite gift was Sir Jim Ratcliffe. I've got news for you, Marcos. I don't think Jim will fix it for you.
Oh, shit. Jim won't fix it. Well, over to me again. You know, I don't receive gifts at Christmas. We don't do gifts. We spoil the kids. But yeah, I got spoiled with that I'm going to be a dad again.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, cheers.
Congratulations.
So yeah, so
Join the
I will be
club.
having a third 7 years after having the last. I'll be having another. So yeah, I'll be up to a family of 5. So yeah, that's my Christmas gift. Some sleepless nights.
That's you and James. You and James now.
Yeah,
Both
that's it.
babies on the way.
Yeah, if I wasn't busy enough, then
Scott will be next.
yeah, he will. He will.
What's this
James.
comment I can see pop up? Bloody hell, I agree with the Liverpool fan. Thanks, Gaz.
Oh, saying Jim won't fix it.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Cheers, Baz. Thank you very much, mate. Yeah, so my life's about to get a lot even more busy, but yeah, a few months before then. But yeah, that's my Christmas present. Right, DT Philip. Question 1: Sterling or Palmer for Game Week 18? I think I know which way you're going with that, James, after your comment earlier. But yeah, Ben.
Yeah, I have to go Palmer. Just he looks a lot better. He's on penalties. And I had a look at the Fantasy Football Hub comparison tool, and Palmer pretty much smashes him on all the main ones, like shots on target and big chances created, shots. Yeah, basically, Sterling has more shots but he misses the target a lot more.
Yeah,
Sterling has more touches in the box, but Palmer's getting his shots on target. So, and he just looks like a much better player. Yeah, he's more creative as well. So yeah, that's the one I'd go at.
He seems on it, Palmer, doesn't he? He does seem on it. He looks a good player. Sterling is so frustrating. He can be so good, Sterling, but he's just, yeah. Like for me, it's Sterling. Palmer over Sterling. I think you agree with that as well, James, don't you?
I do, yeah. Penalties, like Ben said, that's a big factor. And Sterling. I think there's more. I think Palmer seems a little bit more nailed inside as well. Although Sterling's played a lot of games, I would definitely go Palmer over Sterling.
Yeah. Right, second one from DT Philip, and I'm going to cue a toilet break here. When Salah goes to the AFCON, who are you bringing in to replace him with? I'm going to say Haaland.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it looks like it's going to be that way now, especially if Salah's going after the Newcastle game. And if Haaland's back for Game Week 19, then that's the obvious move. Even though it's only a single, but it's Huddersfield at home. Unless he's rested for that.
Possibly. I think the gist of the question probably was more along the lines of striker replacements for Salah, ignoring Haaland, because clearly when Haaland's back, everyone's going to get him. So who would your top 3 replacements for Salah be, excluding Haaland?
Well,
if you're going for striker.
I already have Nunez, but if I didn't have Nunez, I'd be more interested in signing Jota, getting Jota in the team. Just more explosive, got more chance of scoring goals. And I also like the look of Nkuku Nkunku for the double game week with Preston and Middlesbrough. I think they're the two main ones.
Do you not fancy Alvarez for City's amazing? Well, on paper they look like great
Huddersfield.
fixtures.
Yeah, I was going to say there. That's probably my third choice.
Yeah.
Huddersfield at home, but then probably rotate. We're going to have to be on the ball for that game week to see if there's any team news, because there's going to be a lot of rotation in the FA Cup third round, because most managers don't really care about it until they get further into the tournament. So, yeah. Tony, any other players you're interested in if Haaland's not back for that game week 19?
To replace
Strikers.
Salah.
We just said Nkunku, Alvarez, and Jota.
Yeah, I mean, I would throw Jimenez into that mix, but it's probably best not. I like the look of Nkunku. He's a goal scorer. He's looked quite sharp in the couple of appearances that I've seen him. I think he'll start nailing the players down easily in that Chelsea side. Nkunku I like. Nunez, great finish the other night. And he looked good. Was it a game before Arsenal? Who did they play midweek? Can't think of who they played. He did. I don't think he scored, but he looked really, really good. A great outlet. He looked hungry, and it was surprising that he didn't start against Arsenal. I was surprised anyway. I thought he'd done enough. Obviously, then grabbed a nice goal the other night as well. So yeah, Nunez for me.
Watkins is obviously an option with Middlesbrough at home.
Yeah. On with the one game.
No one mentioning Solanke, but when he's got some tough fixtures coming up, hasn't he? Top Spurs away, Liverpool, and
good team, Bournemouth.
No doubles coming up.
I tell you that is it Iones, the Spanish lad? He's got them playing some really nice football.
Yeah,
good side. No longer am I looking when it says Bournemouth and thinking, because he's got him playing some good stuff. So, yeah.
The deadline's on the Friday as well, isn't it? The game, there's a game on Friday night, and so we probably won't know who's going to play in the FA Cup.
No, it's going to be potluck in it, but I suppose that's the way it goes. Conk doubting one of his own. Trippier keepers sell. Bonus points machine, but playing poorly in a poor form Newcastle side. Upcoming fixtures: Liverpool away, Sunderland away, City home, Villa away. It is a tough run of fixtures, but I think it seems to see the best in his points tally. With 8 tackles he got the other day.
Yeah, I think so.
He did do well.
I think he got 4 points just from tackles.
Can I just point out that against Liverpool and City earlier in the season, he got 4 points at home to Liverpool and 5 points away to City. And if you look at his, scoring habits, he does really well against the medium to lesser sides. But when he faces the bigger hitters, he's not going to. I don't think he's going to rack up these bonus points like he does against some of the smaller sides. It was just a bit of simple analysis that I did earlier today, but it doesn't. I think if I had him, I would be looking to sell him if I didn't have other fires to put out. Just for a couple of weeks until the fixtures get good again, and I would be looking to bring him back.
Oh, good shout. What you, Ben?
I think because Salah is leaving earlier, we don't really need to sell Trippier to raise funds. So I'd probably just hold him through those fixtures. He's just averaging loads of points. Like you say, he can get bonus points, can create chances. He's the main man for set pieces. I just think it's and he's playing in defence, can get the odd clean sheet. Obviously, it's going to be hard with those fixtures, but I think he'll definitely play against Sunderland because that's the massive rivalry, and they won't play a weakend side in that match. They have to go for that. So, because if they lose that, they'll never hear the end of it.
Yeah, that game's not been around in a while, has it? Because
No.
Sunderland dropping down to League One. So yeah, big one.
I hadn't thought of that. It's a good shout, Ben.
Yeah, Trippier could fill his boots against Sunderland. For me, I don't know. I just think there's probably going to be other things going on in your team than getting rid of Trippier and bringing him back in. I just hold him because he's so capable on his day. Newcastle aren't a bad side. I don't know what's going on at the minute, but they're not a bad side, and I'm sure it's going to turn. I'm sure we'll see it.
I think I was looking at Trippier earlier in the week before I had the injuries. After, once I'd done my transfers last week, and I thought it was like Saturday night or something, I thought, I'll have a look. And I did play around with Trippier to get Haaland in. But like as the week's gone on and we've got more information, the circumstances have changed, and obviously I need to sell two defenders anyway. But with the news of Salah's leaving after Newcastle, that's just made it permanent. Make Trippier more permanent in my team now.
Yeah. He's not someone you need to get rid of. For me, I might need to get him in. Right. Baz Bestos. I feel that we have been blessed with a period of relative ease recently in regard to making simple week-to-week transfers. Looking ahead now until City's double game week against Everton and Copenhagen. Nice draw that for City, weren't it? Copenhagen. 10th of Feb. The road to get there looks far more complex. There's a lot more surgery is required in between. How are you guys, loosely planning to navigate the next 5 to 6 weeks or so? Ben, what's your plan, man?
Well, speak for yourself, saying it's been easily over the last few weeks to manage the transfers. You must have not had any injuries, mate. We've had all debates on the pod the last few weeks about saying that there's too many transfers. I think it's harder with only having 2 transfers a week, because when you say you get your 5 transfers at the start of the month, you could splurge them more, couldn't you, and sort your team out?
Yeah,
sort of thing. You can't do it. You can't do it with 2. So like we were just talking about, there's the scenario will change because teams will draw in the FA Cup. Teams will go out. Teams will go through to the 4th round, and then you'll be looking at who's going to be playing in the 4th round, who's going to be in the replays. So there'll be double game weeks pop up out of nowhere, and then the scenery will change. There's going to be another replay in 22 as well. So if there is any, and then you've got the Champions League starts. Man City's first leg is in 23, which at the moment is the only double game week, and in 24 is the only double game week, which is Arsenal's, which is the Burnley and Porto. And then in 25 is the FA Cup 5th round. So that comes after the Premier League round plus the Carabao Cup final in 24. On the 24th.
Yeah.
24th, 25th weekend. And then 26 is when the Europa League last 16 starts. And that'll be the second leg of Man City's Champions League game. And then the second leg of the Europa League last 16 falls on the Arsenal second leg. So it's a bit funny at the moment. But once we get to the quarterfinals, then they all marry up, and then they'll all play the last 8 then. But at the moment, it's a bit funny. So you got to keep an eye on the fixtures.
Yeah, definitely. Jambo.
Nothing to. I mean, I've not mapped out a set of transfers for those weeks. Like pretty much what Ben's just said. Things change every week at the moment. So it's about looking out for those double game weeks, those opportunities to jump on a player that is doubling basically, and we won't know that until we've seen the results of the cup draws and the fourth round, etc. So yeah, I'm playing it week by week at the moment. At some point, I will obviously be looking at that the European games when they're coming back in, start gradually moving out those players from non-European sides probably. But that's all I'm thinking of right now.
Yeah, I think we're playing like a fortnightly game. 2 weeks, I'd say. You're probably planning ahead, looking for those doubles, looking to make sure you've got cover for those doubles. But yeah, like this 5-6 weekly thing, it was. You did get stuck in a position where we're like in last season. You get your 5 transfers, you'd have a monthly plan. I really do think it's trimmed back to a 2 weekly plan, fortnightly. Where, because so much is changing, you've got the 2 transfers each week. No longer you're holding injured players or suspended players because you've got the transfers to move them straight back out. So much can change in 2 weeks, so I wouldn't want to plan 3-4 weeks when I don't have to. When I get 2 transfers every week, so I wouldn't worry too far ahead. Just make sure you set up for the next 2 weeks. Have an eye on the 3rd week, just in case. But yeah, we're a little bit spoiled this year, but it still requires planning. It's not just as easy as throwing in X, Y, Z, and it's easy for the newbies or the casuals. I think there's still a bit of planning behind it that needs to be done for you to finish up near the top. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Definitely enjoying it. I'm enjoying being able to take a punt. Yeah, good question, Baz. Good question. Right, we're not doing the leagues, are we not, this week? I'm guessing that because there's no leagues in the OneDrive.
We're going to do the top. We're going to do the top 3 of each league, but we're going to do it live because there's games.
Right.
I think the game's now finished, so the top 3 should be up to date. So, shall I start with the cash league, the big one?
Can do.
Let me load that up then. Right. In 3rd, we've got Henry Cartridge. In 2nd, we've got Connor Tobin. And in 1st, we've got Gary Payne.
He's very high up in the whole thing. I think he's 3rd overall, is he?
He's doing well. Yeah.
He was first.
Well.
He was first last week.
Yeah. Yep. Well done, you guys.
I've got the Dream Team Tonic Patreon members only cash league. Anthony Sutcliffe is 3rd. 2nd is Ben Coles, and top is Connor Tobin. I think he was in the top 20 when I looked at the leaderboard earlier.
Yeah, Tobin's having a good year. He's having a good year, Tobin.
I'll have a look at the Premier League.
Yep, go on.
One sec. Okay. In 3rd place, we have Jake Bevan. 2nd place, Scott Harris. And Ben Cole's top of the shop.
The Tonic Championship. In 4th place is me. All right, so just top 3, is it?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Right, 3rd, Dan Sherwood. 2nd, Conor Tobin. And 1st, Aaron Wade. Good start. League 1.
In Tonic League 1, in 3rd, we've got M. Warner. In 2nd, L. Giles. And at the top, Gary Payne.
Excellent. It's nearly time for all the seedings and stuff going into the Patreon Cup in the new year as well, so we get that sorted out. I think we will do a draw. We did draw one live and heard, didn't we? Was it last year before?
Yeah.
Obviously, the numbers have exploded in the Discord on the Patreon. We might be reading out names all night, so we'll see how we're going to draw that one. We'll have a discussion anyway, see which way we go with that. But yeah, the Patreon Cup will be back in the new year as well, so something else to fight out for. It's been good to have a pod, and it's been good to hear from everybody. Obviously, going forward, is try and make as many pods as I can. It's just very, very busy, man.
You're not going to give a plug to your footy fits, mate?
Yeah, I mean, it is probably a thing that's taking up most of my time. Obviously, I work full time and started a business and footyfits.co.uk, doing teams, sports, fashion. There's quite a few Leicester things on there, aren't there, Ben? Leicester, Rovers, Hull. I'm trying to make my way through the teams, but yeah, if you could check it out. Do you know as well? I'm also in January, and this might be a shock to everyone who knows me through the pod, is I will be doing dry January. I won't be drinking a drop of beer. But that coincides with I'm going to be running at least a minimum of 2 mile a day all the way through January for 31 days to raise money for Prostate Cancer UK. So hopefully I can drop the link in the comments, and anyone who wants to drop a couple of quid and support us, that'd be nice. And anybody who knows me off the pod knows how big of a dedication that is. I have been suffering with my back as well for 2-3 months, so it'd be good to get back out running, and for a good cause as well. But it's been nice to be back. Nice to hear from you all. And is it next week the special? Is Fergie on next week? Is it? Is the week after? Week after?
The week after, yeah.
Week after we get Fergie on, and hopefully I'll be making a few more in the new year. So cheers, guys. Cheers for having me.
Good to have you back, mate.
Excellent. Obviously we won't see you for the new year. Everyone have a cracking new year, and we'll see you in 2024.
Yeah, happy New Year all.
Happy New Year. Bye.
Happy New Year, guys.